Jennifer here. I have another book I want to tell you about. This one is called The Canyon's Edge by Dusty Bowling. And as you can see, I read this one on my Kindle. I am currently experiencing the snowpocalypse of 2021 in Texas. So we have been without power. We now have power back, but I can't go and get a book. And I have read everything at my house so far. So I used my Kindle to purchase a copy of this book. Now, Dusty Bowling has several. I want to say this is number 4 novel for middle grade by her. The 24 Hours to Nowhere, The Insignificant Events, The Life of a Cactus. There are 2 books in the series about that same character, but this one, The Canyon's Edge, really spoke to me because it has a number of things that I like. First of all, it is on the 2021 Bluebonnet list. So this book will be read next year for students to vote on. So I'm always, excited to get ahead on the Bluebonnet list. But most of the book, a big chunk of the book, is written as a novel in verse. And I am a big fan of novels in verse. So it was a super quick read, only took a few hours. And I think it was a very interesting story that both your male and female readers will like. I had read a little bit about it being somewhat like Hatchet. So any of your survivalist fans will like this book. So The Canyon's Edge by Dusty Bowling is about a girl named Nora, and she and her father are headed off to the desert. They're going to go rock climbing in a canyon. And what you discover early on in the story is that some huge event has happened in her life about a year ago, and her life has significantly changed. And you learn as you go along that her mother has died, and it happened a year ago, actually. And so now it's just her and her father, and they're both trying to learn how to live again without her mom. And rock climbing, adventuring outside, those were big parts of her parents' relationship. And so they trained her as a little child to camp with them and to do all of these things. So her and her father have gone out to this canyon, and there is a flash flood that separates them. And so the rest of the story, she's trying to overcome and heal from the experience that she had in losing her mom, at the same time that she's trying to save her own life and find her father. So you have that survivalist element to it. But what's really interesting to me is in the first few chapters of the book, that's her and her dad going out to the canyon. It's written in a prose form, and you hear a little bit about the relationship she had with her dad and with her mom, and a little bit of what had happened a year previous. And then when the flash flood separates her from her father, then from that point until very near the end, you have that section that's written as a novel in verse. So she is alone and writing it in that poetry form. So there'll be a couple of just free form kind of poems, then there'll be a haiku. So it's a really great mix of different literary elements. I don't want to spoil it for you, but in the end, I was very satisfied with the ending. You never know with a survivalist novel. But I think your students who enjoyed Hatchet would enjoy this book. It's going to be a lot faster read because, a novel in verse with all of its white space is a super fast read. But it's on the 22 Bluebonnet list. So next school year, your students that are in 3rd through 6th grade will want to read this book so that they can participate in the Texas Bluebonnets. So I recommend The Canyon's Edge by Dusty Bowling. Happy reading.